Hi everyone, this is the video that goes along with online work number 21. Nothing new today. We are still just talking about the angles that are formed when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. However, in today's video, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to have you pause the video and see if you can answer the questions, and then unpause the video, check your answers. Kind of like what we were doing, kind of like if we were in class. I ask you questions, you answer them, then you know if you're correct or not. Because we go over the responses. So you know from the past videos that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle would be the same. You also know this angle, this angle, this angle, and that angle would be congruent or the same. And hopefully by now you know anything that's not the same color is going to be supplementary. It's going to add up to be 180. So go ahead and draw a picture like that, hopefully of paper. And let's say we knew that this angle was 60 degrees. I want you to pause the video and fill in the other angles. Okay, well, if that angle's 60, then this one must be 60 because they're vertical. This one must be 60. Remember, it's corresponding to that angle. If I drew those windows, it'd be in the same window. It's also alternate interior to this angle. And this angle is 60 because it's vertical to this one, it's corresponding to this one, or it's alternate exterior to that one. Now, all these other angles are going to be 120 degrees. This is 120 degrees because it's supplementary to the 60-degree angle, or that 60-degree angle. This is 120 degrees because it's supplementary to either one of those, or because it's vertical to that angle. This one is 120 degrees because they're alternate interior angles, or these are corresponding angles. Also, it's supplementary to the 60-degree angle. And this one is 120 degrees because it's supplementary to either one of those 60-degree angles. It's vertical to that 120-degree angle, and it's corresponding to this 120-degree angle. Hopefully, you have that down pat now. Now, let's say, I forgot my paper towel. Use my fingers here. Let's number these angles, and let's see how you do with the terminology. If I number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I ask you to name some vertical angles. Pause the video, write down some vertical angles. Okay, hopefully you named angles 1 and 4 are vertical. They are across from each other when two lines intersect. So are angles 2 and 3. So are angles 5 and 8. And so are angles 6 and 7. And we know those vertical angles are always going to be congruent. Let's see how you do with supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are those angles that add up to be 180 degrees. So pause the video, see if you can name the supplementary angles. Okay, now there's so many possible answers that you could have here that I couldn't possibly go over them all. But the most common ones would be angles 1 and 2. They would add up to be 180 degrees because they're on that straight line. So would angles 2 and 4. So would angles 3 and 4. And so would angles 3 and 1. Let's see, angle 4 there. And then down below, angles 5 and 6 are supplementary. They add up to be 180 degrees. Angle 6 and angle 8 are supplementary. They add up to be 180 degrees because they're on the straight line right here. Angle 7 and 8 are supplementary. And so are angle 5 and angle 7. Those would be the most common answers that people would give. But really, you could pick any pair of angles that add up to be 180 degrees. And that's fine for supplementary. Now, let's say I asked you for your alternate interior angles. Remember what the word interior means. Interior means inside. So you're looking at the angles inside the parallel lines, and you're naming the ones that are alternating from each other, opposite from each other. Take a minute, pause the video, see if you can name the alternate interior angles. So your alternate interior angles would be the angles that are inside those two lines, in between them, but opposite from each other, like 3 and 6. Or angles 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. Those are the only pairs of alternate interior angles, and we know those alternate interior angles are always congruent. Now let's see how you do with alternate exterior angles. Remember what the word exterior means. Exterior means they are on the outside of the parallel lines, but alternating from each other. Pause the video. See if you can name the alternate exterior angles. Okay, exterior. So you're looking at the angles that are outside the parallel lines, not in between them, on the outside out here, but alternate from each other, opposite from each other. So angles 1 and angle 8 would be alternate exterior. So would angle 2 and angle 7. They're outside the parallel lines, but opposite sides of that transversal. And we know alternate exterior angles are always congruent. Okay, last set of angles you need to know are your corresponding angles. Your corresponding angles I think of as those window angles. If you put a window around these angles and a window around those angles, they are the angles that match up between your two windows. So look at 1 and 5. They're in the same position in the two different windows, both top left. Those are corresponding. Angle 3 and angle 7 would match up from those two windows. They're both in the bottom left. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding angles. They're both in the top right of their windows. And angle 4 and angle 8 are corresponding angles. And we know corresponding angles are congruent. I hope you're starting to get the hang of this. I hope you are finding this less confusing and easier to do on your own. I hope this video helped. And certainly if you're confused, let me know. Have a great day.